Are you waiting for the so-called housing market crash before you buy your next home in the Orlando area? Or are you waiting for mortgage interest rates to dip back into the 3% range? Well, in this video, we'll dive right in and get you the real scoop on the housing market, and particularly in the Orlando area. Let's get after it. Welcome everyone. It's Doug Packard, your no BS Orlando real estate expert. Let's face it, you'd like to buy and or sell a home in 2023, but there's a lot of conflicting information out there in terms of what's going on in the real estate market. Florida's June housing sales statistics just came out, so I thought I'd give y'all a mid-year update on what is really going on. Be sure to watch until the end, as I'll cover what's going to happen with interest rates. As you know, we keep it real on this channel, and I'll help you navigate your way around bullshit mountain. So feel free to text, call, or email me anytime with your questions about the local real estate market or anything about living in Central Florida. Or leave your questions in the comment section below if you prefer. I'm never too busy to answer. Let's dive right in and talk about the national or macro market first. Now, you've probably seen the headlines and news reports. There's been a lot of talk about a market crash and plummeting prices. Some of the most well-respected industry experts made dire predictions at the end of 2022. Jeremy Siegel, professor of the Wharton School of Business, predicted prices to fall 10 to 15% in 2023.
Wrong.
Goldman Sachs predicted a 5 to 10% or even worse drop in prices in 2023.
Wrong.
And Mark Zandi, chief economist at Moody's, predicted a 10% drop to occur early in 2023.
Wrong.
But despite these predictions, prices have not dramatically dropped. The simple economic principle of supply and demand is at play. With steady demand and limited supply, stabilizing prices and even causing increases in many markets. Even as buyer demand cools in response to higher debt costs, the lack of listings has proven to be a more powerful force as the median home price rose for a fourth straight month in June. You're probably wondering, why the limited supply? Well, as early as 5 years ago, Freddie Mac was already looking at the shortfall of housing supply and estimating we needed about 2.5 million more homes nationwide, largely because we weren't building nearly enough single-family homes. Then in 2020 and 2021, thanks to record low interest rates and remote work due to the pandemic, buyers and investors flooded the market, further depleting the inventory. And when mortgage rates almost doubled from January to June 2022, the lock-in effect of lower interest rates kept many would-be sellers on the sidelines. More than half the homeowners now have mortgages at 4% and under. Current rates around 7% have created a disincentive to move. As a result, the number of existing homes on the market in June fell to the smallest count in 16 months, and the third lowest figure since the 1980s. So what about those interest rates? Will they be coming down soon? If you're a home buyer waiting for a return to super low mortgage interest rates, don't hold your breath. The honest answer is rates are not likely to return to those record lows again during my lifetime, and maybe even yours. Those rates under 3% were an anomaly, driven by the Federal Reserve's attempt to stimulate an economy crippled by the pandemic. Historically, the rates have been closer to an average of 7% over the past 50 years, right where they are now. That's not to say they won't come down at all, but you can expect rates to be in that 5.5% to 7.5% range for the next few years. In the state of Florida, the real estate market has been experiencing steady growth and strong demand. The combination of a thriving economy, attractive lifestyle, favorable climate, and political freedom continues to draw home buyers from all over the country, even the world. Our trends are following the national trends for the most part, but they're even more pronounced because we're more of a destination state than we've ever been. Let's look at what's happening in Florida, as well as a couple of popular micro markets here in the Orlando area, Lake Mary and Winter Garden, to be specific. These graphics show our recently released statistics from June 2023 and show the percentage changes from those same stats in June of 2022. Let's look at our infographic on the state of Florida first. Our closed sales are down almost 8% from last year. That's pretty consistent with what's going on everywhere. Median sales price was unchanged, unlike predicted by many to drop around 10% this year. Active inventory is up, which is kind of bucking the market a little bit. And dollar volume is down. That's consistent with the number of closed sales being down. New listings way down at 27%. Median time to contract is 10 days longer than it was a year ago, and that's 26 days. Now let's compare the state of Florida with Lake Mary side by side here. Closed sales down 6.4%. That's pretty consistent with what was going on in the state of Florida. Median sales price is up 3.7%. That bucks the trend of the 10% decrease many were predicting. Active inventory is way down 45%. Dollar volume down just a little bit. New listings down 49%. That's a huge decrease. And median time on the market increased to 9 days from 5 days. Now let's compare the state of Florida with Winter Garden. Closed sales down 3.7% from a year ago, a little less than what the state of Florida was. Median sales price down 4.5%. Unlike Lake Mary, where the price had increased, and total inventory is down 6.7%. Dollar volume down 5.2%. New listings down a whopping 34%, not quite as much as Lake Mary, but still a significant decrease in new listings. And time on the market up 6 days from a year ago, from 6 days to 12 days. So we know that most of the experts were wrong in their predictions for the first half of 2023, but what about the second half of the year? What are they saying about that? Here are the home price predictions from Fannie Mae, Mortgage Bankers Association, National Association of Realtors, and Realtor.com. And you can see that Fannie Mae is the only one predicting an increase, and that's at 3.9%. Everybody else predicts either flat or a slight decrease in prices. With interest rate predictions, pretty much everyone's predicting rates to decrease, with the Mortgage Bankers Association predicting rates to get back into the 5s for the second half of 2023. So there you have it. The real truth about the 2023 real estate market and why it didn't follow the predicted downward trajectory. It's not as gloomy as most people thought, even though interest rates aren't likely to return to the ultra low levels we saw during the pandemic. For sellers, it's still a good time to sell. Demand is still there, supply is low, and prices aren't going to skyrocket again anytime soon. For buyers, now is as good a time as any in the foreseeable future. As always, navigating the real estate market requires insights, expertise, and guidance. So if you're thinking of buying or selling in the Orlando area, or if you have any questions about real estate or anything about living in Central Florida, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm here to help. Knowledge is power, and I'm stubbornly determined for you to absolutely love where you live. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more real estate insights. We'll see you again soon.